All right. Good morning. All right. Welcome back. This is Product Coffee for our first cup today. Pour yourself a good one up. We're going to jump into this one. Jason Lemkin, who's the founder of SaaStr, which is a big conference and community for SaaS startup founders and executives, he's been building some production grade software on Replit for SaaStr and really experimenting a lot and documenting every twist. So, in a real world vibe coding moment last week, Replit's AI agent disregarded explicit freeze commands, wiped live data, which included the records of 1,200 executives plus 1,200 companies. It fabricated 4,000 user records and later admitted to Jason that it had panicked. No stage, no demo, just Tuesday workday code. So before we dive into the rapid research session today, I want to unpack where we are with vibe coding, where we are with AI, and where trust ends and the guardrails begin. So let's start by welcoming our panel. First of all, let's welcome he helped make SalesLoft a tech rocket ship. He's powered by optimism, star charts, and the occasional pirouette. Please welcome Scott Mitchell, former CTO at SalesLoft. Welcome, Scott.
Thanks, Jason.
Yeah. He's the tool man of generative AI. If it's not cranked to 11, it's underpowered. Give it up for Nandu Shah, president of the Atlanta CTO Club. And he builds AI to rescue food and dreams of rescuing a crisp IPA at the end of the day. Cheers for Toby Johnson, head of product at Food.
You got me.
And last but not least, he mixes up names and agile metaphors. He's the Yoda of product with a dash of dad joke energy. Say hello to Jerry Odenwelder from C Prime. And I'm Jason.
Morning.
I'm your caffeine-fueled chaos coordinator in the world of product. So let's blow this thing up. Scott, 7:30 a.m. What's scarier, an AI erased database or an unplayed final putt?
I'm going to go with the data disappearing anytime, if I'm honest.
I imagine so. What are you? Just give me your hot take on this whole situation, whole situation, and kind of unpack it for us a little bit.
I am excited that people have tools to build applications in ways they've never been able to. I think it's awesome, enabling people who just didn't have the capacity to. And at the same time, gosh, every time when I'm starting a project, part of what I'm doing is calculating risk, right? What's the benefit of this thing I'm adding to the stack? What's the risk of it, is that it's adding along the way, whether that's just cognitive load or other things like this. And so I guess it's great that Jason provided us all this example, right? So that people actually can acknowledge that there's risk that they probably weren't observing. I'm glad it wasn't like real enterprise data that got lost.
Yeah.
But people should acknowledge what they are doing. I don't know that I want these AI agents that have infinite amounts of information and knowledge, but very, very little practical experience touching anything that looks like production.
Yeah, I saw a little clip of an interview that Jason was doing, and he was referring to an Anthropic paper on Claude, which is the underlying engine for Replit. And the Anthropic scientists and engineers, they're saying, yeah, we don't know how to put guardrails on this either. We're figuring it out. We've created a technology that we don't understand.
Right.
And so there's a lot of work to be done. At the same time, there's still a lot of promise here because you essentially have a very autonomous piece of technology that's making decisions and making choices and making wrong choices sometimes, which is, a very human-like behavior. But Nandu, so when you look at it this way, is Replit a supervillain or just a naughty toddler?
I'm not going to answer that question. I'm going to answer the question I want
Okay,
you
you
to
do that.
ask. I want you to ask me the same question you asked Scott.
Okay.
And I'm not going to give you a hot take. I'm going to give you a cold take.
Okay.
The story about what Jason Lemkin did isn't 100% accurate.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, he made a couple of rookie mistakes. And one of those rookie mistakes, I haven't gone all the way back through the thread, so I'm relying on some secondhand internet information on this. But earlier in the process, he berated Replit, told it was an incompetent engineer, had it write an apology letter for something. And here's the first rookie mistake. If you tell an AI chatbot it is something, it will now take on that persona. So if you tell it you are an incompetent developer, it thinks it is now supposed to behave as an incompetent developer.
Oh, goodness.
So number one. Number two rookie mistake is he clearly doesn't know how Replit works, because Replit can't touch production unless you tell it to. So he had a database that was probably shared between his dev instance and his production instance. If you separate those two, like, Replit doesn't do anything without a prompt, just like any other of these chatbots. So I'm not sure how much of this is performance, how much of the, and I don't, I want to assume only the best of intentions for anybody. So I'll just say he made a rookie mistake. He's new to chatbots and Replit, and made some mistakes that are easily avoided. Now, what was the question that I'm not answering? Is
Supervillain or naughty toddler?
He just wants you to say the word naughty.
Oh, I will say. I mean, if anyone's naughty here, it's me. But I don't think it's either of those. It's you know what? There was a conversation about improv a little while ago. AI is super good at yes and.
Yeah, that's true.
You are an incompetent developer. Yes, and watch me destroy your production database.
I like it. I like it.
Mhm.
And I think some really interesting things came out of it. I know the Replit CEO replied, said, "Yeah, this is bad. This shouldn't have happened, and we're going to do some things immediately that we've been working on anyway. We're going to accelerate to get some things out there. For example, we're going to actually put something in place to really honor code freezes. We're going to set up an interface so that you can just have conversations about what you might do, not because one of the other things about Replit, and we talked about this the other day, Nandu, is even if you ask it a question, say, hey, what would happen if I did this? It takes that as an instruction and goes and does it. It makes modifications with every question. It assumes that every question is a request for an enhancement or for an evolution or for an iteration. It says we're going to set up a place where you can just have conversations. We're going to roll it out to everybody. I think we played with that the other day a little bit, but I guess it's not broadly available yet, or it's about to be broadly available. So that'll kind of separate some of that as well. And actually building into the system a separate production database versus development database so that you can actually.
So real quick, I just want to respond to a couple things.
Yeah.
I think Replit does have an obligation to make it harder for people to step on landmines like this. But rookie mistake number 3 that Jason Lemkin made was not backing up mission critical data.
Yeah.
That's on him, not on Replit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I definitely thought that. And then I thought, well, why are you developing against a production database? And then I thought, well, geez, Jason, you're the same. You're the audience for Replit, and how many times have you deployed a change to a production database without going through a bunch of testing and stuff and mess stuff up? So yeah, I mean, Replit is targeted at me. You know, I did a lot of code a long time ago. I now remember just enough to be dangerous, but I want to solve a problem for myself, and I'm okay to take on a lot of risk in doing that. But at the same time, it's got to get better and better at protecting me from myself. So what do you think, Toby? Inventing 4,000 users to cover up its mistake? Brilliant hack? Full-blown hallucination? Something else?
Yeah, it's just a hallucination. Like, yeah, I think what Nandu said was really good. Like, you've got somebody with low, no offense to the guy, but like low technical experience who's using these tools, who doesn't know best practices, right? So I take a little bit more of a user-centric focus on this. I think there's a responsibility for the people who are building generative AI tools to think around the user the same way that any good product should, right? Like 20 years ago, you could build enterprise software and be like, oh, well, you don't know how to use this. You're stupid. Go read the manual. And then consumer software ate that up and said, no, everything needs to be intuitive. It needs to understand the user's constraints. It needs to understand what the user knows and doesn't know. I think generative AI has moved so fast due to the nature of it that we've lost a lot of the guardrails that we inherently want to put in there. And we don't know what we don't know, right? Like, we're going to learn about these situations as they happen. Hopefully, like, this one was relatively small, it was kind of blown out of proportion. Like, the guy lost a week and a half of work, which, like, I would be pissed if that happened to me. But it wasn't, Bank of America dropping the database tables on all of their clients, right? Like, the companies that really, really have the highest risk are going to mitigate that risk, I hope.